It's time for Push to Play, your weekly trophy podcast and all things PlayStation with CJ, Mindy and Unknown.
Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us to episode number 14 of Push to Plat. Have you had a good week? Well, I hope so. There are so many trophies flying around at the moment, spam galore everywhere. How could you not have? Now, I'd like to introduce our guest today, who I think is in a bit of a similar vein to me, trophy hunters. I think we can both safely call ourselves trophy whores. I think there's almost no game we wouldn't touch for trophies.
Absolutely.
I thought you were going to say that. Let me introduce you though first. Today I'm very privileged to have a wonderful guest, the DatOneSeagull. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing very well. Very, very well.
Excellent, excellent. So I think that's a fair comment, isn't it? We're both pretty trophy hoary people.
Yeah, I'd say so. I like to do I like to get the easy stuff. Although I may take a little break pretty soon because I'm kind of poofed from it.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a balance to it. So, I mean, why don't we just jump straight in then? And do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, about your trophy hunting or your gaming or whatever you like?
So, when I was a adolescent, I didn't have a console until I was 10. That was the N64. But I would always go to my cousin's house to play my games because that's where all the consoles were at my cousin's house. So like every Christmas I would be stoked because I was going to my cousin's house and we just hide in their basement and play video games. And then once I got the N64, the Xbox original had already come out, and the PlayStation 2 and all that. So of course my cousins have that. So we sneak in their basement to play all the rated M stuff and whatnot because my mom doesn't notice, but she does. She just doesn't. Yeah, we just think she doesn't notice, and she calls us out on it. I have a brother that used to play a lot of games with me growing up as well, which was fun. And then when I turned 14, I went more towards PC gaming, where I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft, vanilla World of Warcraft. Oh man, those were the days. And now I still PC game. I play a lot of League of Legends. Kind of a very competitive person in regards to that and the latter. And I also trophy hunt.
Can I ask you a question about League of Legends? Because I've never played it. That's not an MMO, is it? That's like
No, it is a MOBA.
a MOBA. Okay.
It is a massive online arena battle.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And so that runs in like sort of like matches that run for a set amount of time, is it? Is that how that?
Yeah, it's usually around 30 minutes and it'll end. But sometimes it goes until an hour because we, the humans, have to end it. There is no actual time limit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, like, there are times where there's a match that goes on for 2 hours because nobody wants to end, or they don't know how to end properly.
Sounds like my nightmare. That's cool. So most of our guests are PlayStation centric. So how do you find like dividing your time between the PC and the console? Like, how does that sort of work? Do you just feel like playing one and so you jump on that one, or do you do you preference one or?
Well, with PC, I tend to only play like the online ones, the online games. Really, I've been more focused on PlayStation at the moment, I do hop on and try to play 3 games of League a day, so that way I'm not rusty.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool. And so then PlayStation. So now you're I'm just looking through here. So you're on everything. You're a PS4. You're a Vita player as well. Long live the Vita.
And a PS3.
And PS3. Wow, you're still on that old warhorse. Good for you.
I love my PS3. It's so good.
Everyone who still has one is very defensive about the PS3, and because mine died like I don't know 6 months ago, and I just let it go. I think I don't care about it anymore. But I'm always surprised how there's still a lot of love for that thing, isn't there? So that's great.
Oh yeah, no, like the library is amazing. The problem is like the lag that it incites with it, because like it is terrible when it comes to its format, its operating system and all that.
Yeah.
Absolute garbage.
Yeah.
But in general, like it has so many games. And I started the trophy hunting game a little bit later. I started like 2000 on my old account I think it was like 2010. This account was, when was it? Let's see. Go by the first platinum. That was about like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Not doing bad already. 170 plats. Although I suspect most of that 170 have come in the last few weeks. Is that true?
No, actually,
Okay.
I got a lot last year. That's when I really started playing all these bad games.
Be careful.
And like they're not all bad.
Okay, that's cool. So I'm just looking through here. So do you have a preferred style of game you enjoy playing on PlayStation? Like I see you play a lot of the spam, but
I like JRPGs.
Yeah, oh cool.
JRPGs.
Yeah,
I like JRPGs. You see my
I
trophy
can see
cabinet.
that. Yeah,
It's
you're a
filled with
Final Fantasy nut.
Final Fantasy
I can see
games.
a vacancy in this cabinet though. I see no Final Fantasy 14. Is that coming? What is going on there, sir?
It is going to come. I do want to start playing that. It's just that I really want to get the single player
Yeah.
games done
Now,
first.
look, that game is going nowhere, so there's no rush.
Because that game is in contention with World of Warcraft for best
Yes.
MMO.
Yeah.
It's the only of the two. There's only 2 games right now that have the pay per month subscription now, and that is World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14.
Well, it is. I've never played World of Warcraft. I've avoided that hole, but I've definitely fallen down the 14.
It's Final Fantasy 14 is
Yes.
basically a clone.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You're not really missing anything, and it's gotten crappier as the.
Well, I think listeners, in case you don't delve into these MMO worlds, I think I'm pretty staunch advocate that you really only have one of these games in your life, because they suck up so much time that I have much respect for anyone that plays multiple of these games and really knows what's going on, but they're so involved.
I would not. It's too much. When I was playing World of Warcraft, let me tell you, that was just a terrible. That was the grind was real. It was almost like a full-time job, and I was 14, pulling all-nighters raiding. It was terrible because they expect you to be on. But that's basically my.
I'm sure at the time you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did enjoy it when it was good at the time. I mean, they've Blizzard also knows how to make a good game, but they also know how to turn a good one into nothing but trash.
Look, that word is going to come up a lot today, trash, I think. So, it's good we're getting it out in the open, and then Blizzard's name attached to it as well. I love that. Anyway, so that gives us an idea.
With Overwatch, too.
I wasn't going to mention that, but oh, yes. I feel the same way.
They killed that game. It's over.
That they just It never dies.
Nobody cares about Overwatch.
It just keeps coming back. That I don't understand it either. But anyway, sorry to the Overwatch fans out there, because I'm sure there are many of you somewhere.
Yeah, nobody cares.
No,
It's a dead game.
That's true. That's true. So look, why don't we move on to the question for this week? And you're the perfect guest for this question. I hope this doesn't embarrass you, but I'm sure it's not going to. It definitely doesn't embarrass me. What is the sort of the most spammiest or most like ridiculous thing you've done for a trophy or for a platinum in a game?
Nothing.
I don't believe you.
I don't care what it is. I don't feel ashamed.
Oh, I see. Yes. Well, what it?
So why does it matter? I don't know. Maybe this 5 minutes super weekend mode.
Well, not even, I mean, neither of us are embarrassed, obviously, by this. But what's the most like ridiculous thing you've done in game for a trophy then, or than you?
Oh, ridiculous.
There's probably many.
I don't really know, to be honest. I'll tell you something that I did that wasn't for a trophy. I dressed Lightning up pretty inappropriately for Final Fantasy Lightning Returns. Wink, wink.
I like that.
I don't know. Mass Effect has the sex trophies, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. You were taking it. Yeah. Well, I think listeners, like, as everybody knows, I have no shame. I'll do whatever it takes and beyond, perhaps. So I think, I don't know, like, I don't feel it's shameful or embarrassing in any way, but I'm fully happy to admit that most of my singing plats have come via the use of an online fan. It's amazing how well that fan will work.
That's great. That's genius. That's just playing it smart. That's not. You shouldn't be ashamed.
No, it truly isn't. Like if you combine it with a turbo controller, you almost don't have to do anything. It's fantastic. So.
Oh man!
I
need to buy a turbo controller.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, probably the only other thing, which is amusing, I found in the crew, the game, the first crew, there was a trophy for driving. Was it 5,000 kilometers or whatever else, and you had to. So obviously, you just rubber band the controller or whatever else.
Oh wait.
Yes.
In Final Fantasy 15, I rubber band my controller for like 15 hours straight to grind out the survival.
See, there we're going. Yeah. That's the sort of thing I think we mean there with that question, because it was very similar. I think though for the 5,000 it was longer. It might have even been 2 days on the crew. I don't know. It was a lot of time. I remember that, and it was a thing. Because it was very glitchy, so you couldn't stop and like leave the game. You had to do it sort of in one sitting, or I mean, obviously you're not sitting there, but the controller had to stay going for the time, like 36 hours or whatever it was. So that was pretty awesome. And then I don't know. Oh, that's right. There's one other one, a throwback to the PS3. Notice I'm going to mention all these ultra rare plats and things like this because I find them hilarious. Anyway, was one where you had to boost. I love ultra rare plats that just come about by self boosting because that is shameless. That's about as shameful as you can get, probably. And I remember running
fighting games.
Yeah. Well, in that Dirt 3, I think we had this setup where we were trying to do it with some overseas people, and it was just too difficult. So just a matter of leaving the 2 PS3s running again for like a full day or something, just basically playing each other. It was fantastic. So yeah, look, listeners.
Sounds like a boring time.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there. You just leave it and come back.
So. You were probably at work. Or at college, or just watching Netflix for days.
That's right. I'm a pretty passive participant in most of my gaming anyway, so whether I'm there or not, I don't know if it makes that much difference. And maybe it would make it a little quicker. Who knows? So I like that. I think that's a good question for us. So look, why don't we jump into what you've been playing?
All right. Here we go. I'm gonna go back.
Listeners, pull up a chair. Make yourself a coffee.
Until May 1st, because I got platinum in May 1st. Where is it? Okay. I started off with Mix-Ups by Poggy. I hate this game. I hate all the Mix-Up games. Like they are boring. That's about it. I played 2 stacks of 36 Fragments of Midnight. They were the last 2 I needed. And I got increasingly better in my times to platinum. Because like my first time, it took me 3 hours to do. Because I sucked at the platforming. And then Then I went down to 56 minutes. Then I went down to 45. And this one I went to 39. This one I went to 26 minutes. And then I did 2 stacks of full blast. Because, hey, they're fun little games. They're not bad.
No.
I did the Asian stack of Super Weekend mode.
Now, just before you go on, sorry, I promise I won't keep jumping in, but just because you mentioned Full Blast, I had a little bit back and forward this morning with another Aussie gamer who I'm pretty sure listens. So I'm going to give him a little shout out, Digwig. And how are you, Sir Digwig? Hope you're doing well. And thank you for liking randomly some of my trophies. I very much enjoy it, and I wish you earned some more trophies so I could like back because I feel bad that I can't. But anyway, that's totally beyond the point. But anyway, we had a little back and forth today about Full Blast because I saw that he gave it 3 stars on the store, which I thought was a little bit cheap. I thought it was maybe 3.5. And anyway, he came back at me and said that the guide told him it was supposed to be an hour, and it took him longer than an hour, which I'm not sure what he was doing.
Whoa, really?
I know. But anyway,
it took me 26 minutes.
That's why I had to bring it up. So that's what I said to him. I said, look, you will get quicker. By the time you do the 6 stack. Now he's not a stacking person, so I think he was disgusted by that. But suggestion.
My first time was 35, and then I went to 18.
Yes. Well, he was getting his money's worth. But anyway, Digwig, as I said, earn some more trophies so I can give you a like today or sometime soon. Yeah. He also has a great way of finding, because I have, I don't know, ridiculous number of trophies going through, but he also finds ones that I think are meant as digs, like at me, a little bit in the names. So I do enjoy that as well. It's fantastic. But anyway, sorry, that was a total tangent. Yeah, let's keep going on your list. Sorry.
Then I got Zerotopia Invasion, the Asian stack for the PS4. This game, I kind of raged at it for the first 2 stacks that I did, which I believe was the NA and the NA, the PS Vita and PS4 stacks for NA. And that game, I raged at it for a bit. I mean, I got it done in still less than an hour, but it's just like, that game can get really difficult at times, even though it's pretty quick. It's deceptively tricky.
What amused me about that game is when it first came out and everyone was doing the first stack, the number of people that played the game but didn't get the last trophy, they obviously stopped at like level 5 and they kept dying at 7 and they just cracked the shits with it. But they came back the next day, so their times were like 1 day, 1 hour, or like 23 hours. And then their comment afterwards was like, "Oh yeah, I was just tired, so I took a break." No one wanted to admit that it was a little bit bullshit, the end of that game. But I'm glad you said it because it is.
No, I'll admit it straight up. It got pretty, like, there were times where I wanted to chuck the controller.
Yeah. But like
all right, next game we got Bird Game Plus 3 times. Oh my god. Yes. This is my game. Do you want to know why it's my game?
Please.
Because I am the bird, and the bird is the word. Yeah.
Look, even as the bird being the word here, were you slightly driven up the wall by this game? Because
no, actually,
you weren't.
I didn't have any problems like you said I would.
Did I say you'd have problems?
Because I remember you told me that the controls were a little bit iffy.
Yeah,
I didn't have that problem.
Well, you're in tune with birds, obviously, so you're fine. But times are good for that game as well. Yeah.
That's the Seagull is actually my real nickname. Because when I laugh really hard, I sound like a dying seagull. It's great.
I like that.
Then I got Super Destronaut DX, the EU Vita stack. And then for Platinum 150.
Very nice.
I got Final Fantasy 15.
Yes. What did you think of that game? What did you think?
It was, I'm not going to say it was great, but I thought it was really good. And the reason why I say that is because I guess when I think of Final Fantasy, I think of turn-based in some form or way. And I just couldn't wrap my hands around the fact that they were just going with the kind of like brainless Kingdom Hearts combat.
Yeah, it's quite different, isn't it, for Final Fantasy, though? Yeah.
But it was still really
Yeah.
good, really refreshing. I didn't mind it. I thought the story was still good. I still thought it was enjoyable. I didn't think it was the best one. I do plan on doing the DLC on this.
Can I ask you, it's been a while since I've played that game. Excellent, excellent. Now, I was going to ask, I think it's like chapter 12 or 13. Does it still give you the option to play that chapter like two different ways? Or is it now, have they just fixed it and it's just one way?
I think it's one way. I didn't get an option.
No, they may have, because when that game first came out, there was complaints that I think it's the second last chapter was too difficult or it didn't make sense. So they basically rewrote the whole chapter and gave you an alternative choice. You could choose to play either one. But I think maybe
I'm going to tell you that the ending to this game didn't really make sense to begin with.
Yes, yes.
Spoiler alert. They're both alive when it's clear that they both should be dead. Noctis and Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Because Noctis had to sacrifice himself at the end, I think. I think that's what it was.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
It wasn't very clear.
Can I ask, did you have a nice picture to remember the game by?
Yeah.
At the end? When you
I chose the one with everyone in it.
Oh, lovely. Yes. It was such a beautiful little touch.
There were two to pick.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, I think it varies on.
And I got Super Destronaut DX Asian Vita stack after that. I have to admit, this is a really easy game, but it was really good. I love Super Destronaut. It was a fun time.
That is a fun game.
Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. I started it, and then I stopped.
Yes.
I don't know why I stopped. I think I got a little burnt out from Final Fantasy because if you look, you'll see that I went from like Final Fantasy Lightning Returns. Well, I went from Mass Effect to Final Fantasy Lightning Returns to Final Fantasy Type 0 to Final Fantasy 15. And then I went to Final Fantasy 12. And then I said, I'm getting kind of burnt out on this. Gonna go and finish Kingdom Hearts 3. Blah, blah, blah. But I am going to go back to it.
That's understandable. I see you played it for an hour and a half.
The opening was pretty awesome, yes. Not going to lie. That opening for that game was sick. Then I started Super Weekend Mode and finished it, obviously, in 5 minutes and 37 seconds. EU, Vita stack. Then I got 2 Jack and Jills Vita stacks, last of them. I got Peasant Knights. I got the NA PS4 and Vita one, and I also got the EU and Asian PS4 ones. And I'm going to tell you, this game, the skeleton boss, I wanted to punch the screen for that boss. That boss angered me. But the game is easy. But the problem is that I have a problem when things get reversed. My brain doesn't really process it well, so like when I got up to those levels when you hit the button, you go backwards, I just freaked out. I got all the dagger hoods. This was a good game if they actually had you finish it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you only play 12 episodes. 12 levels of the first world. There's like 5 of them, I think.
Yes, that's right. You only play 10% of it, don't you, or something? It's very little.
Yeah, but I still have fun with it. I did the Iron Snout.
The Iron Snout, half game, half grind. Yeah.
I didn't mind this. I didn't really mind it. I did Midnight Deluxe of the Vita stack EU. I got 2 Iron Snouts, Asian and North American PS4. Oh, I got Energy Cycle EU Vita stack. That's just, it's just Energy Cycle. It's nothing.
Oh, that's the one with the glitch, isn't it?
Yeah, you can get all the
levels,
the time stuff and the extra, I did
again, if that glitch wasn't there, that would be very long.
It'd probably be like 20 hours.
Longer game. Yeah.
Access denied. Asian Vita stack. Energy cycle again. Asian Vita stack. And I'm working on Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm thinking that's going to be 175.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I may whore out another like 4 games.
Yeah. Oh, that will be easy.
And then just pop
and
it.
you've actually done quite a bit of Kingdom Hearts, haven't you? I'm just looking through. Yeah, you don't have that much left.
Yeah, I right now what I'm doing is I'm doing the mini games. I only have one more mini game trophy to do.
Nice.
I'm doing Power PYX's trophy guide, so
Mm-hmm.
shout out to that guy.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of good guides.
He does.
Even though when he makes them, he doesn't finish the games.
Well,
it's so weird.
Well, he's making them,
and the guides work,
Mm.
even though he doesn't finish them.
He and his team work very hard. Shout out to his team as well. I see more and more of them are now writing guides themselves on that site, which is fantastic to see. Because I mean, they're covering so many games now as well, so that is great. As it goes along, yeah. And you like Kingdom Hearts 3? You're a fan?
I am. I like it. I love it a lot. Now, here's the problem with Kingdom Hearts 3.
There are many.
There is a problem. It is a glaring problem, and it kind of ticks me off. So, like, you know the cinematics and all that. What happened to all the emotion? Their faces are so still and emotionless. It makes me want to smack Sora and say, "Cry! Do something! Don't just stare like a nobody from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Disney have sucked all the joy out of your childhood, and now they're taking it out of your adulthood as well."
Well, Kingdom Hearts is a part of my childhood. Like, I played that at 12 years old, and I actually got the PS2.
Yeah. I know it is a very nostalgic series for a lot of people, with their history with it.
That and Donald Duck is just the most annoying creature I've ever met in my whole life. When he says, I think there's some ingredients here, I just my brain just can't process it anymore. I just ignore him completely. I literally just, at this point, I just put my TV on mute because I'm done with all the important things. It's not like there's gonna be any more story to it until the DLC comes out. So I might as well just mute it and get the platinum because I don't want to hear this duck with his groundy noise. I don't know what that is. I mean, that's how he sounds though. That's his
I know.
It's been like that for how many years? Since before I was born, he's sound like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, I had. I was actually considering going back to that game the other day, only very briefly, but yes, I just can't suspend my.
No, it's a great game. It just has a lot of annoyances.
Yeah.
And, I just didn't like how.
Yeah.
How the cutscenes just seem like blank. They seem very meek. Like they decided to. If you watch Donkey's review, I don't think of it all that way, but it's pretty much the way I think about all the cutscenes is like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, almost everybody that's been on this podcast has been playing that in some form. So I should go back. And listeners, I know I haven't talked about this game for a while, but just rest assured, I did make it as far as the Frozen world. I did get to hear the song. That was my whole point of playing the game, and I did get to see. It was crazy. The Frozen song, obviously. I did get to see Let It Go. That's right. Just slipped my mind for a sec. They do this fantastic thing where it's all going. It's like the clip.
I swear they just copied and pasted from the movie.
Oh, exactly. It's
exactly
which is fantastic because back in a few years ago, I did. Was it Disney? Or one? It probably wasn't the Disney one because the movie's not that old. So it must have been one of the PS4 singing games where you were required to perfect song, and so I chose that song, and I really did sing it because it's a great song, obviously. And
It
so
was a great I love that song.
yeah, it's awesome.
Let
So
it go.
no, I do a
Great.
good Let It Go, surprisingly. So, well, maybe not, unsurprising listeners. But I got to that point in the game, and it sort of it hit me, but I wasn't quite ready for it. I knew it was coming up. I was building up for it. I had a glass of white wine there. I was ready to go. The voice was good. I was in the outfit, and I was ready to go. And it came on, and I was up, and I was doing it. It was fantastic. I was getting into it, and then I looked at the screen, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder what's happening." And there was Donald and Goofy, just sort of like swaying in the background, and it just that was rough. I just couldn't do it.
No, that
done.
ruined it for me too.
Yeah,
man, but like, I must be the only adult that's openly psyched about Frozen 2. I'm very open about it.
I think I think
Yeah,
that's
it was
awesome.
great.
The first one was good. Yeah, let's bring
my
on
God.
another one. Well, maybe you're not the only one by the sound of it. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Looking through your profile, this could really just be an advertisement for anyone that just wants to, rack up 100 plats in a month. Like how many plats have you got this month? Do you know? I mean, I know you went through them all then, but
so far I have 31.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It looks like more when you see it all. It's still a lot though, 31. Yeah. That's fantastic. I must say also, what really impresses me about your profile is that you have one ultra rare trophy. I think that is fantastic. Now I can say that because I probably have like 2. So we're
I'm so glad you bought
that's
that
all right.
up.
As I said, I have about 2, so we're kindred spirits. And and what I like too is it's a 4.05%. So it's an older game. So you're probably safe. That will probably stay as ultra rare, so you're fine there. But from Call of Duty Ghosts, that was it. Oh, it's the plat too, isn't it? That was a great game, wasn't it?
The plat.
Was that PS3?
No, it was terrible. I got sucked into it because I really hate Call of Duty games, but I'm so good at them. So my friend needed me to boost his extinction trophies, and I was like, well, this is going to be put in my account. Might as well just go for the platinum, right? Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, that's it. And you know what? I may just do more of them, but that's just for the sake of it. But I'm not really that big into Call of Duty. I hate shooters, but I'm so good at them that I hate them.
It's a love-hate relationship. I think that's fantastic though.
Oh no, there's it's gonna be more.
There's just the ultra rare
to come. I just
yeah, look, of course, yeah.
When I finish some of the franchises on this list, they'll eventually come. I mean,
there'll be more. Yeah. Well, you. I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna bring that up at the goals section.
Oh, good. Okay, excellent. Well, I'm just gonna touch on it, listeners, because obviously I'm just having a joke. I love people that have tons of ultra rare platinums. It just gets me excited every day. So good luck to you. I'm definitely not having a go there. And just to show in jest, that I am only taking a joke. I'd like to point out that my most ultra rare trophy out of the 2 or 3 that I actually have
is it Final Fantasy?
No. It's fantastic. It's 1.04%. So that's pretty ultra rare. That's not going anywhere. This is from a game called Switch Galaxy Ultra, and it's social gamer. Now, if anyone would like this trophy, it takes about 5 minutes. If you have 2 systems, you could probably self-boost this or a friend. And I'm pretty sure this game was either free or something like that. And I don't know why no one did it, because you literally just go in the game and you just run it like, I don't know how many you had to do, but it takes like 10 minutes maximum. The servers are stable. They were when we did it. There's nothing dodgy about it at all. So it is probably the easiest ultra rare trophy you could ever earn. And I like that it's at 1.04%, because that's just really making a mockery of the whole system. but anyway.
I did most of Call of Duty Ghost solo.
Yeah, okay. No, well, you earned yours then. Congratulations.
I did all the... I basically was like, he's gonna want me to do this, so I might as well do all the single player. Okay, I did all the single player. Oh, I'm just gonna do all the multiplayer too, because I could do it solo. So I did that, and then it was boost time with him, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it. I guess I'm just helping you because I already got the trophies. And so,
I mean, as you said, we'll come back to this in your topic, but that's quite a lot That is quite a lot of plats across those games. But the most exciting thing is that you talk about them, with some humor but also with some genuine enjoyment. I know a lot of people that play those games don't. They just whinge and moan all the time about them. But there is, as you said, there is some fun to be had in there as well, I think. Yeah.
And if you look at my account even further, you'll see some good games in there.
Yeah.
You'll see like a few good, really good JRPGs, a few really good just normal RPGs.
Yeah.
Finished a few first-party games, like 100% of Uncharted.
That's right.
1.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's never a debate about quality versus quantity or any of this. In the immortal words of Colin Moriarty from this week, "Fuck you, I'll play whatever I want to play." I totally agree. So good on you, Colin. I'm totally with you on that, obviously. But
it's just really good to have a medium, like you can't just play trash.
That's right. Yeah. But look, we'll get into that in the topic. So I don't know. Is there any? That's a lot of games. I think, is that your list up to now? Yes. Is that right?
That is my list. That's basically May 1st till now. Exactly.
Excellent. So listeners, if you are missing any of the latest short plats, I recommend you check out DatOneSeagull's profile. It's like an encyclopedic knowledge of how you can get 31 plats in probably like 4 hours. So jump on that. Maybe space them out. Yeah. So look,
you could space them out and get your true trophy streak going, because that's what I do.
Oh, I see. Good. Well, that's going to come up later too, I think. I didn't know you were trying for that. You're full of surprises.
I'm not.
Fair enough. So look, what have I been playing this week? As you know, listeners, we had a crazy short turnaround this week because we had some major difficulties at episode 13. The number plagued us, unfortunately. So I haven't really played a lot this week, but I still found time to play 5 minutes of a few things. So I'll throw them out.
That's not what True Trophy says.
I don't know what's going on with that side. But I'm going to have to throw this one out. Gladiator Blades of Fury. Now, I don't know why I bought this. Oh, no, I do. That's right. It was $1. It was on sale for $1. So, that's a compulsory purchase. Like, that you just got to, they deserve the $1. But look, the game is absolutely shocking across the board. I thought it was going to be a quick 100%, but I don't. Well, I think it's a luck 100% because the controls are absolutely shocking. It's some sort of fighting game where you can, there are a lot of characters, like 20 characters can choose, and they're all medieval in style. So you have a sword or an axe or whatever. But the delay between when you press the button and the swing can be anywhere up to 3 to 4 seconds. So you really
the latency. Oh,
yes,
God.
Yeah, you really have to.
I hate this.
Yeah, and then every shot is like a double hit, if you like, or double swing. But the character you're attacking only ever takes one hit and then moves. So the second swing is pointless. It just sucks up time and leaves you vulnerable. So look, it's fun, like they deserve to be supported. It probably took them like 3 minutes to make the game.
Right, yeah.
I was glad to give them $1 for their effort. And then of course the Warlock's Tower. That's our latest rat offering. Is that rat or something? I think that's rat.
That may be rat. I don't really know. I don't really actually keep track of that stuff.
No.
To be quite honest, I just play what I see on people's accounts.
Yeah.
They're like less than 5 hours.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll throw that in the spam. Obviously, you probably already know about that, but that is going to be incredibly short. So let me see if I've played anything of value that I can talk about this week. Well, a little. No, we talked about Rage last time, so I'll throw in Layers of Fear 2.
How is that?
It is fantastic. Did you ever play the first Layers of Fear?
No, I meant Rage.
Oh, sorry, we're going back to Rage. Sorry. Okay, yeah, Rage. Look, I talked a little bit about it last week. I think it's good. I really like it. I could understand people would think that it's not maybe a complete or full game.
I heard that the humor was pretty good. Is that true?
Yes, it is. So some of the writing is great.
Then I may give it a go.
Yeah, the overarching story, I think, is you could take it or leave it, but some of the lines are great. There's one character, NPC character, you interact with midway through the story, depending on which faction you start with, who's really good. Very good value, and I really like the character. Some great one-liners through there. So, yeah, it's good. And look, it plays like Doom. It's a fast shooter. I mean, you said you don't like shooters, but you're good at them. This is a very easy game. I think you would enjoy it.
Well, I like shooters like Wolfenstein and all those like story-related ones.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed Rage 1 when I played it on the 360.
I never actually played Rage myself, but I understand this is quite different in style. So, I mean, it's definitely not as story driven as Wolfenstein's or
Oh, and
things like
I
that.
also like the Metro games. I used to play
Yeah,
those a
I
lot.
mean, it does play a little like the new Metro game Exodus, actually. So yeah, it's good.
Okay.
It's good. But as I said, it's a really good drop in, drop out game. And the trophy list, I mean, it's not grindy with the exception of that one trophy. It's all sort of kill related. So it's a good game if you don't really want to spend ages just going around opening chests or cleaning out every camp. You don't have to do that. You can do as much or as little of that as you want. So that's a nice change from the Ubisoft, mop attack everything model. A welcome change for a while, I think. Anyway, so back to Layers of Fear 2. So look, this game, I would recommend if you haven't played the first one, maybe consider playing it first. I know it's not a plat. I also know it's not the easiest 100% the way the trophies work. It's a little, time involved. If you don't care about trophies, then it's really only about a 3 to 4 hour experience.
I don't mind grindy 100% or platinums. I sometimes I prefer them, to be quite honest.
Mm. Well, it's definitely not grind. It's one of those ones you just need a guide, just to find there's some collectibles and find different things. So it's nothing crazy. This one, Laser Fear 2, does have a plat. There's also a guide. I think you're looking at 3 playthroughs or 2.5 playthroughs because there's a couple of different endings to this. I think the guide puts it around 15 hours. I'm sure it's probably less if you use the guide from the beginning, but I think that takes into account playing blind the first time. I would recommend perhaps playing blind the first time because the chapters diverge. There's sort of 3 acts and they diverge at the end of the act and you pick like a left or right option. So you're going to have to do both anyway. So there's no real need to use the guide the first time. Get whatever collectibles you can. I believe they carry across playthroughs. And then the second time, maybe go with the guide and just get the collectibles you didn't get. It is very linear. So if you're exploring, you'll probably find them anyway. But the game itself, I think, is really, really good. The music, fantastic. It's all set on the story is a little bit out there, a little bit wacky.
Is it Final Fantasy 13 good music? Oh, that battle theme is awesome.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's good horror music, It's sort of like there's a lot of detuned violin, a lot of scratching. It's like, I mean, not to get bogged down in the music, listeners, unless that interests you, but when you write, we're getting sidetracked here, so I apologize. When you write music for like commercial use, whether it be like TV, ads or even like movie or whatever else, you write basically underneath music or what we call dead music. So its aim is not to distract the audience or the listener, but to sit underneath what happens. And usually how it works is that the show or whatever you're writing for is sent to you after it's done, and you write the music after the fact. So you have absolutely no influence on anything that goes on, and you're basically just writing filler music to sit underneath. And then every now and then they'll have a hit point on the film where you need to show build up or an emotion. They don't care what you do as long as it somehow reaches a spike. So anyway, that's a little insight into how music composition works. And this is a really good use of that in this game. So I didn't write the composer's name down, unfortunately, but I'll get that for next week. I did very much enjoy his work here, and he uses. It's a little similar to the Shadow of the not the Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the one before, not Rise, the one before that Tomb Raider.
I haven't played. You mean the Tomb Raider? The remake.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
They did.
So gameplay, it's nothing like that, but music wise, similar.
I haven't played. I've only played up to half of Tomb Raider Anniversary.
Okay. Yeah. Well, again, I mean, we're going off in
I really want to get into Tomb Raider, though. That's one of those ones.
It's a very good game, yeah. But we're moving off on a tangent. But basically, why Tomb Raider is fascinating, and I don't know if you haven't played it, and you do, you can consider this when you play it. But the music score was written by this guy who actually he made an instrument for the score, and it's made out of like garbage can lids, and there's a YouTube video on it. It's an amazing instrument.
Creative.
Yeah, very creative, and the sounds he gets is phenomenal. So I'm really into that sort of pushing the wave of stuff. Sort of like for any musicians out there, sort of extending the Xenakis tradition, if you like, into modern day. It's fantastic. But anyway, so the music is great. So the overarching story is that you're a film star, obviously a troubled film star, and you're going to participate, or you're going to be an actor or actress in an old style movie, and you're all on this ship. You're sort of learning your character, and the game is very big about teaching you your character. But it sort of reminds me of a Saw movie, actually, without maybe all the death and gore, but it has this sort of sense of that there's an overarching voice that comes in and tells you, you have to move do this, or you explain something or whatever else. And it's got that room to room feel. I'm not going to spoil it at all, but there's a mechanic that comes in right at the end of the first act that I wasn't expecting at all. It's a mechanic really.
You could spoil it. Chances are I'm never gonna play it because it's scary.
I'm not going to, but I will reference something else so that if you've played that, you'll know. But it's a similar mechanic that the Resident Evil uses, the remake, Resident Evil 2 remake of the thing behind you or whatever else that's sort of always oppressing you and pushing you. I didn't expect it to happen in this game. Yeah, and it's
seen gameplay of
that. So it's not something that's pervasive in the game at all until a certain point, and then it's very sudden, and it's great. I was not expecting it. So look, I think this game is great. It's only a half price game as well, and it has a plat. So if you like horror, and I know there are a lot of horror options at the moment with Five Nights at Freddy out as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But if you're looking for something non-VR, I think this is great. And then, Devious Dungeon 2, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. It just goes on for too long. The game is fun, but it's too much, I think.
I don't want to play the Vita stacks of Devious Dungeon 1.
You don't want to?
No, I don't want to. And it's only because it's like a longer game.
Yeah. I think
I can't have my head down for too long. And if I do, I would want to invest it in like a hyper dimension game that isn't PlayStation TV compatible, just to get it over with, so I don't have to keep my head down and get my terrible back sore.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is one of the things with these games. Like, they're fun for a couple of hours, but this Devious Dungeon runs at 6. The second one runs at 6 to 8 hours, so it's double the length of the first one, and it's the same mechanics, so it is fun to start with. But I mean, there's this final level in that is the crypt, and I think if the game had just finished before that whole section, that would have been fine. That was enough. It had done enough. But look, anyway, it is like you're getting your money's worth. It is what it is.
I think I'm good on that one.
Yeah, I would suggest perhaps a pass.
Over 5 hours. I only do visual novels that way. I actually love visual
novels. Really?
I don't know why.
Okay. Well, it's not showing on my profile, but I just started the I don't read a lot of it. I play a lot.
I'm a super weed.
Okay. I play a lot of visual novels, but I don't read a lot of visual novels. But I've read a few. Like my favorite at this point is probably The Death Mark.
I don't read them either. I'm able to see what happens. I've watched so much anime and read so much manga that I kind of know what happens just off of the facial expressions, so I could skip and know exactly what happens.
It doesn't suffer the Kingdom Hearts sort of trope there, does it? They're very expressive. The visual novels.
They do. The artists actually do get really, like, the facial animations and everything. Like, you can tell when someone's angry. You can tell when someone did something wrong. It's great. And it's the same with raw content as well, like things that aren't subbed or dubbed.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Well, in that vein, and I was going to bring this up in the spam, but I mean, for me, it won't be spam. I started reading The House of Ghana, I believe it's called. It just came out the other day, the EUNA English translation. And look, it's a lot. I didn't realize it's going to be like 30 hours or something, so it's going to be a long read, but it's good. I mean, if you like Death Mark, it's that sort of similar quirky. It's not quite as dark as that one. Quirky style. And look, as I said, it's not too romance heavy. I can't stand these over-the-top Japanese housewife things. They're a little too much for me. But this actually has what is shaping up to be a good story. So looking at, like, in 4 months' time, when I finally finish that, I'll be able to comment more thoroughly on it and get the plat, And also shout out to who is it? I believe Mr. Saki this morning, who got the plat in 35 or 36 minutes, and then proceeded to say, CJ, you'll be able to beat that. Don't worry. I was like, I don't think so. Not this time, sir. But congratulations. Long live your name on the top of the achiever boards until our friends from China do a little save manipulation on you and get you again. Shout out to them as well. Hope you are doing.
No, we don't shout out them. They're
well, they're very busy at the moment, so they're not returning phone calls.
They're garbage to me.
They're having fun. So
Japan's where it's at, guys.
Speaking of garbage, well, I don't know if it's garbage or not. I want to see your opinion on this. We're gonna the only thing of news this week, because look, I am getting so tired of listening to PS5 speculation. I don't even care anymore if the PS5 even exists.
Well, it's kind of also the same in every podcast.
Oh, it's too much, isn't it?
It's the same thing. I'm glad we're not talking about it
No.
because I don't want to talk. I don't want to drill it because we're just going to say the same thing every other person says.
Exactly. Nobody really knows any more than anyone else. So, like, it's great. It's coming. Who cares? But what we are going to talk about is the Death Stranding trailer. Now, I understand, Seagull, you watched this. Is that correct? You have seen this.
I did. Actually, when you said that you were going to watch it, I decided to watch it. And then I saw my man, Norman Reedus, and I was like, yes, Walking Dead guy.
So, have you been following this game at all? Or was that your first sort of exposure to it, the trailer?
No, I've looked at a lot of trailers for the past years, and every time it's just none of my questions are getting answered, and it still didn't get answered.
No.
I mean, we know a little bit more than we did, but it's still confusing.
Were you surprised by the release date being this year, November 8th? Did you?
We still know so little.
I know it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, still
only 2 years.
I think if I put that in my PS4 right now, my OG PS4, because I don't have any of the new ones, I think it's just going to combust. I think it'll explode.
Oh,
fire!
I like it.
It looks so good that I doubt it would work on my PS4.
Yes, yeah. But look, I think there's a bit of a high-end PC manipulation possibly going on there in those trailers. That would be nothing new or surprising. But what surprises me is that, less than...
the gameplay looked pretty realistic too.
Well, they always do.
They showed you a bit of that. It wasn't just the cinematic.
No, well, that's... There was a lot of cinematic at the start, but you're right.
My God, that was an 8-minute trailer.
It was intense. I mean, what amazes me is that 2 years ago, he didn't even have a studio set up. And in the space of 2 years, he's got everything now, and including a game almost out, a AAA game nonetheless. So, look, something is going on. I don't know what, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what the hell the game is.
You know what the sad thing is? I still, to this day, have not played a single one of his games.
No, look, I haven't either. So, I haven't. I played a little bit of
I haven't played a single Metal Gear.
Look,
or whatever that one that got canceled. That's actually part of a franchise. I don't remember what it's called.
I think with people like Kojima, I think they're wonderful people to have, and he's obviously been extremely successful. But I think artists like that, it's so difficult to define what is good and what is not good when something is so far out on the fringe like this trailer. And I think a lot of people don't really know what to make of things sometimes. And so they're just,
that's going to be the death of the game.
When everyone says it's good.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be the death of the game. He should let us know stuff. And he's letting us know is cryptic messaging. That's all.
Well, I think to further that point, I think is that artists become a little, I won't say egocentrical, but they're egotistical, I should say, but they become sort of wrapped up in their own thing. And obviously, he's been very successful. He's on a mega deal. I'm sure Sony must have paid a fortune to acquire him and his services. So he's very safe. And I'm sure whether this game is a success or not doesn't matter like it would matter to other studios potentially going forward. I'm sure he has a safety buffer, but I wonder if
I own all the Metal Gears. I should probably play them.
This is why he's such a success. People, you've fallen into the trap. You've bought his games because they're amazing, or so you're told, but you've never played them yourself.
Yeah, I own Metal Gears. I own the anthology collection. I mean, I own Metal Gear Solid 2, Peace Walker, 3, 4, Rising, Revengeance. Which is the Platinum game one. I own Metal Gear Solid 5. I even own the glorified demo, and I haven't played any of them. I'm gonna play them. I gotta do it one day.
See, you're...
I gotta platinum them too. I gotta do the challenge. I'm gonna platinum them.
I'll write that down. So, see, but you're the perfect example. Like, you're like someone asks you. So Kojima, is amazing. A star. So which was your favorite game of his? And your answer is just yes.
No, I actually lie and say Metal Gear Solid 3 because that's everyone's favorite.
Well, yes, that's right. The sheep of the world. This is the Horizon Zero Dawn syndrome all over again. Fantastic. You know, so it's great because they tell me it's great. No, look, I think it is going to that thing
I
is.
know that. I know that the guys at Trophy Whores are watching right now. They're just
Oh, that
like,
shocked them. That episode didn't it? Look. That they
they're
could not.
gonna stab me in my sleep. They're gonna go do
Uh,
some mean things. Tricky Mick lives like an hour and a half away. It's pretty.
fair enough.
You'll find.
Well, no, they
You'll
know
find
we're
me.
only they know we're only joking. That Trophy Horse podcast. It's a fantastic podcast.
I like.
Podcast, a lot of fun.
I do love their show. I'm a long-term fan
Yeah.
of theirs.
Yeah, no, they're awesome, and you know, Alex, Yield, Tricky, Mick, all fantastic, fantastic people. And I think, look, as I said, I went on once. They only had me on once. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the agenda for that episode was fantastic. There were absolutely nothing that interested me. We had VR glasses, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, and then Star Wars. I had nothing to say on anything, but you know that.
Oh no, Star Wars is
Whatever else,
great.
so.
I love Star Wars.
Yeah, look, no, of course. Yeah.
Oh,
anyway, look, we're
on.
drifting so far from Death Stranding here. So, what do you think? As you said, you have no idea.
I have questions.
After that trailer.
that's what I think. I have
Can I-
questions. I want to know what this game is. I want to know the premise. I didn't get enough out of it.
What do you make of the baby there? I don't know
Disturbing.
what to make. Well, look, it is disturbing. You know, I thought maybe it's going to be an inner child thing, or look,
The fact that they said that it was someone that this child could link you to another dimension of some sort just kind of freaked me out.
Look, I don't know. You know, it's sort of secretly.
You saw that lump on his head.
Yes.
Lump of like it's some sort of alien.
Yes.
It just like was weird.
That's very true. I don't know. Look, I'm looking forward to it. I just wonder with a trailer like that, how many people would be signing up for a pre-order though. I think there must be a lot of people just like, I think I'll just wait and see what happens there. Because I mean, it could be anything, that game.
I don't normally pre-order games anymore.
No.
After I pre-ordered Unity, I stopped.
Yes. Yes, well, they got you there, didn't they? Look, at least you must have missed the what was the biggest scam of them all? The PlayStation,
the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Oh,
that was a big scam for me too.
No, easy.
I should have stopped right there.
Yeah,
I used to have an Xbox One.
Yes.
Not anymore.
No. It was a dark time, was it?
Well, I can play it all on my $3,500 gaming rig.
Yeah.
Because there is no Xbox exclusivity.
No, that's right. Yes, yeah. Long live the master race there, for sure. So look, I don't know, listeners. Like, tell us what you think of Death Stranding, because you know I have no idea. And Seagull has questions on that. So you know,
and I'm just confused, to be honest.
Yeah. I would laugh so much if when the game comes out, it's nothing like that at all. That was just all like a hoax, and the game is just like, I don't know, it's like a turn-based card game or something.
I wouldn't laugh. I'd be pissed. I would start a riot right in front of Kojima's place.
Would you?
Give us game promise now.
Well, we don't know what he's promised, so that's a hard ask.
That's exactly the point.
I gave you what you wanted. This is a walking sim VN. What more could you want? That was clear from the trailer.
I'll find him.
Yes, look, yeah. Well, Sony will protect him there. That will be an exclusive that I think.
Kidding. He may actually be screwing the pooch with this. Like, this may become the most disastrous game he's ever done.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least he's taking a risk. I think that's good. I mean, if nothing else, it does look like it's going to be different. I think it's an interesting react from Sony to push this out now.
Well, I do plan on buying it though. Not day one, but for sure Black Friday. Is it coming out
8th of November?
Will it be out before Black Friday?
That's later in November, isn't it? I'm not 100% familiar with that.
Yeah, it should be out.
Yeah. I mean,
I think.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I'll probably get it on discount.
It's an interesting timing to sort of put this up too, with E3 just around the corner and Sony having no visible presence yet. Although I wonder if there'll be leaks and stuff that will come out. But
I thought they weren't going.
No, they're not going at all. So I suppose they're jumping the gun here a little bit by pushing stuff like this out, which is probably
they're just having these really crappy press releases of sort of like Nintendo.
Yes, yeah. Well, they're getting better. I don't know, it's something different or whatever else.
Yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy VII. Oh man, action combat.
You actually believe that?
Another 10 years for that. 10 years for episode 1. Right. 10 more years for episode 2.
Look how long Final Fantasy 15 took. This game is not happening in our lifetime. I don't know what you're worried about.
Oh my god, look how long Kingdom Hearts 3 took.
Exactly.
That was a good, 15, 20 years?
Yeah, I think so. So anyway, Death Stranding. There we go. We did our compulsory news of the week. We touched on it. So why don't we have a look at some new release games for this week, Seagull? There's not a lot coming out this week. Well, again, we're recording before the PlayStation drop, listeners. So there's a huge chance that I think we have like 6 or 7 games we found here, but I think there's a huge chance there'll be like 30 random games that come out. But bear with us. We can only present what we can find. Yeah. So would you want to start us off, Seagull? What have you found there?
All right, I'm gonna start you off with a game that I don't think I can pronounce. So I'm gonna try my best. Good. Kododama, the 7 Mysteries of Fujisawa.
Excuse you. Excellent.
Welcome to Fujisawa Academy, an educational institution where nothing is as it seems. And every pupil hides a dark secret, having made a pact with a demon fox and bestowing you with the power to see the truth behind your lies. You must uncover the sinister truths behind the seemingly normal 4K. God, it just sounds like I said that.
Look, we need to book you for this segment every week. That was the best reading we've had ever. It's fantastic. I now feel like I'm going to play Dark Souls, Sekiro, Neo, and Kododama all at once. It's great.
Nah, it just sounded like I came out of a real life Yakuza Kiwami session. Yes, and actually,
that is
actually am the mob itself.
But look, the game sounds interesting. It has a demon fox in it. What more could you want?
It's probably a JRPG. It's probably or a Metroidvania. Yeah. Either way, I'm pretty interested.
Yeah. It does sound interesting. So we've got that. Let me throw one out there. This Effie. So a little look at this. This looks like an interesting game. It's a 3D action adventure game that combines classic elements from the genre, such as combat, platforming, and puzzles, with the exploration of an expanded world. Live a unique fantasy adventure. Free the cities from a powerful and dark evil, and relive the look and feel of old school video games. So despite that last part, I looked at it and the graphics actually look quite good. So it's not one of these games that, is 8-bit or whatever else. It looks playable. So
it's 16-bit.
No, I think it was just normal.
It's 3D.
Yeah. No, it was just 3D. Yeah. No, so it does look interesting. I know it has a plat, but that's all I know about it. But you can check out their website or whatever else if you're interested in that one. Now, do you have another one you'd like to throw at us there, Seagull?
Yes. The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2. In the wake of the noble faction's occupation of Heimdall, civil war has broken out across Erebonia. The provincial armies loyal to aristocracy and the 4 Grey Houses have claimed many nations, great cities in the name of the Noble Alliance. The Imperial Army, called back from 4 corners of the Empire, has only just begun sweeping its counterattack. Though the road will not be an easy one, Reen, aka main character, Pimp himself, Reen decides to take up his sword again, journeying across a rope with his divine knight, Villamar, in search of his friends from Class 7, and a way to end the conflict before its price becomes far too dear.
Erebonia. That sounds like a condition a 13-year-old boy would have, doesn't it? Miss, I've got to leave the room. I've got some Erobonia down
It sounds like it sounds like a disease, to be
it does,
honest.
doesn't it? Have you
But
played any of these Trials of the Cold Steel games?
yeah, I played the first
So
one.
what's it like? Is it good?
It is great. I highly recommend it. You love Ni no Kuni, right?
I do, yes.
Ni no Kuni 2?
Yes, yep.
You'll love this.
Oh, okay.
This series is for you.
That's a ringing endorsement. Yes. Okay.
I need to go back to Trails of Cold Steel 1 and platinum it, because that game, oh my god.
Oh, okay. I will lead to.
It was one of, like, the time where, like, everybody thought that JRPGs were dying because there hasn't been a good one that's coming out for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Then, Kuni came out. It was like around that time where a good one came out named Ni no Kuni. Then after that, Trails of Cold Steel came out. Boom! Two JRPGs back to back, really good.
Mm.
Then the Tales of games started pumping out again. Everything just started coming back to JRPGs when everybody thought it was dead, because they thought it was.
Are they just two of these games? Or...
No, so there are. In Japan, Trails of Cold Steel 3 is already out.
Oh, okay. So it's a living.
But this isn't the Trails of Cold Steel. This is the franchise is called the Legends of Heroes. There's Trails of Wind. There's what other ones? There's a lot of them, and there's usually like 3 of each. 3 for each one. It's sort of like Final Fantasy and how they have spin-offs.
Okay, yeah.
In between, and then like after that are directly impactful to the story. Like 7 has like 3 games. It has Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus as well.
Oh, interesting.
It's like that, and then but after those 3, the games are totally different.
Because I know that there was a Trails of Cold Steel was ported to PS4. I suppose it was the first one, perhaps, just a few months ago. I feel. So,
yes,
it's good.
But the other ones are like PSP and PS2 games.
Ooh, okay.
There's like trophy lists for the PS Vita. Like they ported them to PS Vita, but those are Japanese exclusive, so you're not gonna understand it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I recommend you just go into do Trails of Cold Steel.
Yeah, I did pick up. Unsurprisingly, I did pick up the first one. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah, that is a good recommendation. I'm going to look into that. Thank you.
Just play the story, because I know you're not going to complete it.
Yes, no, I looked
because
90% of the games, the story is the only thing that matters.
The story is really good. I highly recommend it, and the reason why I say you're never going to complete it, A, because your account, and B, because it's like Star Ocean Last Hope, where it's like 15, like there's like 20 missable trophies, and that's like literally more than half of the list is missable.
Yes, yeah. Well, no, I'm not. I don't use a guide for games like that. I just the story. Yeah, I enjoy that more. So, yeah, because of.
I mean, who knows? You may actually enjoy it because this is one of those games. You may actually enjoy it where you want to get the platinum.
Yeah, well, look, who knows? Yeah, but look.
I mean, I see you got some good games. Like you went out of your way to do Ni no Kuni 2, Final Fantasy 15 2 times.
2.5 times. 2.5 times.
2.5 times.
Well, actually 2 3/4, because I'm a quarter of the way through it on Xbox. So.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah, that is enough, I think. Yeah, cool. Okay, no, I'll look into that. And look, the last one I'm gonna shout out for is the MotoGP 19. So I'll throw this one out. Obviously, it's a racing game, so we don't need to say motorbike racing game.
Wait.
Sorry.
Can I do the Toki one?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, let me do the 19 really quickly, because I only need 2 seconds, and you can definitely do the Toki one. I hope so, because that looks fantastic. So anyway, the only thing I want to throw out on this one, obviously, because now we're moving into the racing season, there's going to be a ton of stuff coming out in the next few months. It was this interesting thing at the bottom here: compete with a faster, smarter, and more accurate AI based on machine learning. So look, I don't know exactly what that's going to involve, but I'm excited to see whether these games have finally figured out a way to stop me cheating in them and just smashing into everyone at the start and then getting a big lead. I'm looking forward to seeing how the machine is going to learn to handle someone with my inferior skills. but
All
my
right.
drive club strategy. We shall see. We shall see. So Toki, please.
All right, Toki. No ugly wart nose is gonna make money out of me. But that's just what that witch has done. 1 minute, I'm the mighty Toki, and the next, I'm having breakfast, delosing my armpits. I can't walk a step without tripping over my knuckles. And oh, there's an overhang fine. Time to swing out, sisters. But my broken heart is going to ape. My beloved Miho, I can't wait to share a banana with her,
Oh my goodness.
has been kidnapped. And somehow I've got to regain my manhood. Until then, I'm just swinging in the rain. The long-awaited fourth installment of the popular Arlan series. In this new story, players will revise nostalgic world of Arland and embark on an exciting journey of alchemy together with
Rorona, sorry.
Verona's daughter. God damn it!
Yes, I just
probably-
realised that when you got to the last bit, that neither of us saw that coming with that description.
Because of how I started it off.
Look, sharing a banana with her, that is great. That is, oh my goodness, who would have thought this is one of those games?
No, not the Arlan particular.
Yeah, well,
they're bad.
Well, a lot of people
the Arlan
do
ones
like
are bad. I like the ones after that, but like,
there's a lot of these games coming out too.
Oh no, you know, the moment I saw Verona,
yes,
I just put it all together, and I was like, an Arland, and I was like, an alchemy. But come on, you gotta admit,
you know what I was
that voice
what
acting
I was thinking
was
when you started that, I was like, you should have a look at his voice acting. And then I was thinking by the end of it, I was like, this is like an interview, like an audition that's gone really bad. Like you didn't. They're like, oh no, sorry, that's not what we're looking for.
Well, I stopped because after until then I'm just swinging in the rain. It just went to a description and not this guy.
If I left those last 3 lines out, we would have never known. That would have been fantastic. Yeah, someone would have corrected us.
Because I literally just then I looked at the Arlan series, Rorona's daughter, Lulua, Arland, Alchemy. I was like, God damn, not again.
Yes, look, listeners, we basically got through everything we had. I know also Warhammer Chaos Bane is out there for people that like that game. I believe you.
I play the tabletop game where you paint the miniatures and
massive thing.
Playing that, I go to like grand tournaments and stuff. I used to.
That's coming out, and I know that's possibly already out. I think as of today, Friday. If you pre-order, you get a few days early access. Then just a quick whip around the stores. I'll touch on Hong Kong because once again they've just got random offers that really relate to nothing. But good luck with the lucky dip of the Hong Kong store. It's always fun. But I will give a shout out to both, particularly the NA, the double discount sale. If you have an NA account that has PS Plus, there are some really good deals in that sale at the moment, depending on what you like.
Well, guess what? I got an NA account.
There you go. You should have a look. I know particularly Lego games as well. There's some really good deals on the newer Lego games as well. So if any of that interests you, we do have a double discounts on the EU store. It's not as good though. It's some of the bigger games or whatever else.
Of course,
that's right. That's all right. And of course, your game of the week for this week on the EU store is the Need for Speed Payback, a game that I quite enjoyed. It's basically a Forza ripoff. It's probably as close as we're going to get to a Forza game on PlayStation ever. So, if you enjoy it, it does have it has a sort of a fun story. So
I really, really want to get into these racing games.
This is very arcadey.
But I always hear like horror stories about the grinds in them because I like to keep my account above 90% completion.
Yes, yeah. Well, some of the sim ones lately, the online leveling grinds in the Formula One games and stuff have been full on.
If I want to do a grind, there better be It better be in a story-driven game.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
Well, look, I don't know. Maybe our Payback could be for you because that is much more of an arcadey, story-based racing game than your traditional. So, like, there's something for everybody and probably something for nobody in there as well. So, let's shift across to the topic. And could there be a better topic for two spam hunters, trophy whores, and whatever else you'd like to label us as, than trophy goals? So, Seagull, this is a funny concept. Do you have trophy goals?
I do.
Do trophies matter? Tell me about them.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, they really don't.
No, I refuse. Edit, hard edit. Put in a super. I don't believe you. That is blasphemy. He's probably playing his Xbox now.
But I love them too much.
Good. So with that in mind, what
I do have a trophy goal though. Yeah, I have a lot of goals.
Would you like to share some?
So I was looking at this really nifty site called True Trophies. I mean, I don't use it. I use it for its very wonky things. I usually use PSN profiles. I go on True Trophies, and I'll look, and I see game series. I see this game series option. They like have leaderboards for the game series. So I look at it, and I'm like, you want to know what I want to do? I want to finish out some franchises. I want to go through the alphabet and get one weeb / RPG, just normal RPG franchise for A, B, C, D, whatever, all of them. I want to get the whole franchise done. Then I want to get AAA or just an American game franchise done as well. So, like, for instance, for A, it would be Assassin's Creed and Atelier. And just get all the games in the franchise done, even the crappy Our-Land ones.
Wow. That's a pretty cool goal. I didn't know that.
For C, it would be Call of Duty, because that's like the only one that I can see that has any relevance and clout to it, and it would feed ultra rares to me. Like, I did the math. If you stack out all Call of Duties, and if you leave out Black Ops Declassified and Black Ops 2, because that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to play the Vita version. It seems like a hassle. Don't want to play like Black Ops 2 because you can't get the platinum or 100% for it anymore. It's on table. It's like 100 plus. I think it's like 120 ultra rares, including DLC.
Mm-hmm. That'll be good for your account.
That boosts my one ultra rare. My one ultra rare up there.
Well, it just gives you a safety net.
So I'm like thinking of ways to get my one ultra rare up.
Well, with only one, you're taking an incredible risk every day. I can tell you.
People make fun.
That's right.
So my next goal is to get 100 platinums in a year.
Oh, well, you'll definitely achieve that. Yes.
The goal after that is to get to 200.
Yeah. Can I ask? So these like goals, like
I did have this unrealistic goal.
Oh, okay.
Like it was just a meme where I was basically going around saying, "I'm gonna pass Hakoum. I'll do it."
Excellent.
But I'm not gonna do it. It's not possible. Oh my god, I could barely whore 2 games a day.
Yes. Yeah.
For a month.
Yeah. No, something like that takes up.
It took me 2 weeks until I broke. Till I my soul got broken.
Yes. Yeah. Look, something like that takes a huge amount of commitment. What Hakoum's doing. So yeah, not for everyone, I suppose. Yeah.
If it is.
Well, look, I know there are rumors, but I'm putting my foot down on this one. I don't really know. My relationship, listeners, with Hakoum is estranged. I suppose you can say he's not a huge fan of the show for various reasons, but I've always never had any problems with him.
I'm just joking.
Yeah,
to be honest, I'm on his Discord.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy his Discord actually.
Yeah, look, I do too. And
he's a very helpful on the Discord. He's a very helpful man.
He is. I was going to say he has provided information on various guides to me before. So I have no problems with him. And as I offered before, a few months ago, he has an open invite to the show. If things ever change on his end and his feelings, he's more than welcome to come and speak to me or anyone. So I was going to ask, like, with these goals, you're obviously enjoying them. Do you find like like it sort of gives you motivation? Do you find to play some of these games then, or do you think you would do it either way? Like you just
Well, I have like, so at the beginning of the year, I always set a goal. I always complete it, by the way. It's like a New Year's resolution for gaming, for trophies in particular.
that's cool.
Last year was to get 50 platinums. What I get? I got 80. And it was to get my completion to 90%. I got to 90%.
Nice.
And it was to get 100 plus platinums. So like I just do it by tiers. If I get one done, I add another. Then I add another. But like right now, my goal is to get to 200. After I get to 200, it's to work on a franchise. Maybe not complete it, but at least get enough games from it. Like I want to continue on with Assassin's Creed. I got 4 of their games done.
Yeah, yeah, they're enjoyable too, especially the newer ones as well. Yeah,
I like the way that I like their sequences, but I don't really like the post game. But that's pretty much how I put my goals. You know, like
yeah, I like that because they're very like personal goals, aren't they? They're not based on points or I mean you know as you said so many plats.
I don't have any for like ultra rares, but that's only because if I do that, then things get kind of unreasonable due to the fact that some of these games are easy ultra rares, but like a lot of them are just grindy or hard. Then sometimes you just don't have the time investment to do that. Like you want to play other things as well. So I just keep it to
manageable. Yeah. Yeah, and to enjoy.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I didn't. I thought actually, I was wondering if maybe it was going to go the other way. It was more about just attaining as many plats as possible or whatever. But I like those sort of goals. That's much more sustainable, I think, and enjoyable.
I mean, it looks like it,
Yes.
but I kind of I always like have this gap where I just completely stop playing trash, and I will literally play like 5 good games in a row, then play like 10 trashy games and go back and get 5. But this time I literally just went from 5 good games into like a massive amount of piles of trash.
If you want to talk to that or whatever, but you've been sort of trying to. I noticed a comment you made the other day on a Discord there about how you someone called you out for maybe spending a lot of time or money potentially on these sort of games, and then you sort of said like you play like only 2 of them a day, and it only takes you like maybe an hour anyway, and then you play other stuff for the rest of the time.
Well, yeah, I like to I like to I like the 2 plat. I like the 2 plat idea, despite the fact that I'm kind of burnt out on it right now. But like, I liked it because it offered me the chance to also go and play better games right after, and also I could go on my PC and play League of Legends after as well.
Yeah, that's right. Because as you say, it's only like an hour here or there, and it. Yeah, I mean, I think that balance is really important. I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people do get burnt out is because then they just play those games all the time.
And it's not really that expensive. Like
oh no,
they were asking how much money I spend on them.
Yeah.
Don't really spend that much money on them.
It wasn't so much a point to the cost as just the balance. I think at the time, I think that's a very good.
They were wondering if I was wasting my life. I was like, no, I have a job.
Yeah,
I go to college part time.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, how someone chooses to spend it.
I have places to be and stuff. It's not.
That's right.
It's not all trophies all the time. Yeah, I have
no. Look, yeah, that's exactly. And look, how someone chooses to spend their time and money is totally their own business, of course. But I think, I think, the more I talk to you, the more I like you. And I'm sure we'll finish this interview, and you'll be like, God, I hate that CJ guy. It just would never stop. But I think in some ways we're sort of similar because you're still playing exactly what you want to play, and then you're playing a bit of this other stuff on the side, and you're quite enjoying the other stuff as well because you're not overdoing it.
Yeah, except I actually complete the stuff as well.
Well, no, I'm not claiming to be 90%. You know, I'm struggling to hit the.
Okay, I know. That was just a jab, but
Yes, yeah, yeah,
with the
yeah,
jab.
yeah. That's right though. But it's that. But look, to be honest with you, I'm trying to get my account below 50%. It is a lot harder than you think. I can tell you. But anyway, listeners, that is the struggle I bear at this
That's
point in
because
time.
you're not 5%ing the trash.
I know that's true, and Sony need to hurry up and release more stuff so I can drive my profile down further with that. But yeah, look, you know, that's what it is. So, look, those goals are good, I think, and they're attainable. Yeah, and I imagine you don't feel too pressured by them. Like you don't. It probably doesn't. Like I mean, you say you're a little burnout now with the short games, but you know, it's. I mean, what will you
Well,
do?
no, but I'm still gonna get that goal.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, no doubt, I'm gonna be at 200. I'm gonna be at my
Oh,
200 milestone.
easily. Because I mean, you're up to how much are you up to now? 170.
170.
Yeah, so easily. We're not even halfway through the year, really. Yeah, so that's definitely going to happen, I think. And with,
So even with a little break and just playing good stuff,
yeah,
it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna. I mean, I'm gonna pick it all back up when I probably gonna actually get more than the target because during school I tend to whore out a lot more because I'm busier.
yes,
So like just getting these like 0 to 5 hour platinums and just spamming them out,
yeah,
just makes more sense then.
yeah. Look, I can totally relate. I mean, I ragged earlier on Devious Dungeon too, but you know, when I'm working a lot, like this week has just been crazy, and like you get home and you're just exhausted, and you know, you don't want to
You
do
don't
it.
want to. You don't want to put time in like
No, you don't want to think. That's right.
500 hour Star Ocean last
No,
OP.
you just don't. You can't. You're physically you're spent. You can't like mentally you're done. So
Yeah, you wanna play something really easy and then
and just fun and you don't need to
go
think.
to
Yeah,
bed.
yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. So you know, I think you know, I definitely see that.
So that's when I'm probably gonna pick it back up. I'm probably gonna get like 4 more
Yeah, yeah.
trashy things. Get 175th in Kingdom Hearts, and then just wait until then.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you know, I'll just share like you know, like some of the. I think your goals are quite realistic and they're quite normal of most gamers or whatever. So just thought I'd like share a little light, perhaps on like you know my mindset or whatever. I know Unknown's talked to his a little bit, you know, about where he's at with his game at the moment.
Unknown is extremely conflicted. It seems like every single time somebody talks to him about it, it just goes around in circles.
I don't want to touch on that because that's really you know up to him to decide. You know, to himself. I was talking
You
more.
can't decide.
No,
That's my point.
I agree with you. I was talking more to the fact of these players. You know, and again, I don't classify myself in that league, but you know, I am a level something ridiculous over 100 or whatever else, and you know, to some people, it would look like I play like that. I think, and so how do you goal yourself after you've already hit level 100? And
You're asking what I will do after I get 100.
well, for you, like I mean
That will eventually happen.
it will. You'll need to think about that.
Uh, get 1,000
Hmm.
platinums. Get that as my milestone, but that'll be like a long-term goal, not a year goal.
Well, see, this is what I think because I thought when I got to level 100 I would just give up or something, and I've definitely changed the way I play, but not hugely. I think and I always played on the other systems anyway. At the moment, I'm a little bit more on Sony for various things, but you know, like it moves between or whatever. But what amazes me is
What happens after that is good. I don't know.
well, the funny thing.
After 1,000 platinums.
Yeah, I think in some ways you accelerate without realizing because I've noticed that I'm earning more trophies now than I have in the last sort of 3.5 years by and large, and I'm not playing.
Yeah, I could believe it. There's a lot more.
A lot more short stuff, yeah. Definitely,
Yeah.
but I think also you know I've said before. Obviously, once you give up completionism, once you don't care about getting the plat, and you just play games for themselves and you move on, you're always going to earn more trophies. It's just the nature of games are usually front end stacked with just number or whatever else. So you're just going to you know as Mindy, co-host Mindy likes to say, my profile is just by sheer attrition or sheer numbers. That's all. Which is
yeah, I liked how
like,
she said that. That's a great.
It's totally true. Yeah.
I mean, to be quite honest, I actually know what I would think about your account. I wouldn't say it's bad.
Well, you can say it. It's fine.
I no, because like the thing is that I know a lot of people who have completions that are not positive, but the thing is that you're still positive. I think if if you're above 50%, you're a trophy hunter.
Oh, well, good. I've really got to work hard to get that below 50%. I think that,
If
but
you're, I mean, there are exceptions. I do think Ike is a trophy hunter, but I do
oh,
a
Ike is
trophy,
fantastic.
but I think he's like a bona fide like trophy
Ike is the future.
whore.
There's no.
He's gonna
Of course,
pass a
he's the number
goom.
one game holder.
He's gonna pass a goom
That's
in
right.
everything. It's
I
gonna
hope so.
be
I
funny.
hope so. We'll all become Ikeites. I look forward to the day. But
Does PSN profiles go over the max for not level? I know they do that, but trophies.
oh, I don't know. Well, I think Ike will be the one that will discover that. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought people hack to see.
That's
that.
right. As long as he doesn't have any more problems with his Vita trickery, I think he's burned a few warnings on that already. So hopefully he's mastered that system now, and he doesn't have any more problems there. Well, that's what I'm hoping because
He did it with a game that you don't even need a Vita trick. Kind of silly.
I think that was unfortunate. Something.
Little Adventure in the Prairie.
I think he may have
it's a
had
global
two now too.
thing. Why would you need to?
Yes. I don't know. things go bad, I suppose. But yeah, look, I don't know. As far as like my goals or whatever, so I suppose I don't really have any or whatever. So I like that one that you said for 1,000 plats. I think that's good. A lot of the people I mix with in gaming now have over 1,000 plats, and I would classify them as extremely hardcore gamers. I'm sure they would be happy to be classified that way. But they're also great people. They're also very similar to me, very stable people with families, full-time jobs. People might even say successful people, I suppose. So, and I enjoy them. Obviously, I'm no idiot, and I enjoy the conversation. So there's a level of intellect there as well, which is great, from them. But I think
I talked with Unknown before. He's a very, just talking through with voice. He's a really chill person. We were doing like the E3 rundown together last year, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
No, he is, and look, we'll definitely, unfortunately he couldn't be with us today, but we'll definitely hook that up at some point. No, he's very good, but I think a lot of these people think that I'm a little bit of a laugh. I make a lot of noise for somebody. I think that it's relatively, on the cusp of trophy of things, but why not? Somebody.
I tried to be a joke in explaining the video games today. Look at that.
Well, I say I think we provide some information along the way too, but maybe an insight into something else. And if nothing else, I hope that we normalize a little bit what we do, because I think some people they think it's all a machine or whatever else. So there's definitely people there and stable people as well. So for goals, I'm gonna give myself that 1,000 plat goal. I reckon I could probably do that in 40 years time. So we shall see on that one. I don't know, but I noticed I'm coming up to 30,000 trophies. That's pretty impressive.
You could probably get that 1,000 plats.
Yeah, look, a couple more VNs. We'll get
I mean, the whole thing is that this point it's just a matter of how many of those easy games they pump out.
Oh, exactly, yeah, and what you decide and not to decide to finish. But I think we can both agree that goals based on personal things, like personal goals, challenging yourself, that's sort of far more sustainable and interesting than other maybe extrinsic goals.
I joke about passing people, but I try to keep it to myself, like the goals in my personal bubble.
Yeah. Well, it's like a metagame challenge for yourself, which is what I like. So, look, that's touched on our goals, but what are your goals? Like, is your goal to get your first platinum? I don't know. Is your goal never to get another platinum again? And more power to you. If that is the case, I don't know. Is your
no,
not for you?
No. Please, don't do that.
Is your goal to finally pass DatOneSeagull on the leaderboard that he's like 20,000 points ahead of every day than you? Look, I don't know. What is your goal?
Oh, it's gonna stop.
What is your goal? Who knows? But there are all goals are valid. But let us know if you want or don't. It doesn't really matter. Keep it to yourself, maybe even more exciting. So with that in mind, what if we go over to the spam games of the week? So I just closed the thing which was intelligent of me. Let me open it up again.
All right, you're gonna have to read everything out because
okay, you're not looking there. Well, we'll start off with this.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah, just sort of go down.
We already have a new Pocky game.
Oh, excellent.
Word.
Oh, yes, that's right. Coming next week. Apparently only an hour long, so it's going to be a quicker one. Well, they're all quick. They're quicker.
That's good to know.
We have a Warlock Tower. Is that what it's called? Warlock's Tower? Something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
What's that, like an hour, I think? Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks. That is fantastic. Well done. I like that. I know. We speculated 5 Nights at Freddy, but I noticed no one has the plat yet. So perhaps that is not a spam game.
Maybe Ultra
And
Red.
maybe glitched. Who knows? Maybe no one's found Freddy yet. Who knows what is going? Maybe no one survived.
We got back in 1995.
Yes. Have you done that yet?
Was that what, an hour?
No, I haven't done that either.
I heard that it's like an hour and a half, something like that.
Multiple stacks of
Dauntless. Oh my goodness.
No, that does not belong on this list. Did you say Dauntless? No, definitely not. Definitely not. Don't listeners, don't do that. Don't do that. I can see you're getting distracted already. So this is the problem. Shiny things. I'll throw out this Super Tennis Blast. So I mentioned this
Super Kane Magic Zero.
Ooh.
Oh no, that may be. Oh. I'm looking at the averages. That's
this game we read last week. This has a fantastic description, listeners. If you didn't hear it, I recommend reading it. It was off the wall. It was fantastic, and I thought it might be spam, but it looks not. If you're going to buy that game, it came out today. There, for some reason, in the typical Sony fashion, there is a $20 difference between the EU and the NA store. The NA store is $20 cheaper for the same game for no apparent reason. So make sure you don't buy it on the EU store.
I love my country.
Yes.
I actually hate it. I actually despise it, but okay.
Well, look, every American I talk to says that, so you'll just have to take a number there. But my other favorite one, again, not spam, is Cricket 19, currently selling in Australia at a full price $100, and on the Canadian store for like $60 or $58 or something. So look at that, like what a joke. But anyway,
is your dollar is your country broke?
No, we're actually in parity with Canada, to give you an idea. We're roughly in parity with Canada. Obviously, your dollar is stronger.
Oh, because Canada's dollar is screwed.
Compared to yours, yes. Yeah, but that's usually about where we sit. But we're always behind Europe and America there. So, except for that brief time when your country did go broke and they dumped all the money here. What was that, about 5 or 6 years ago?
Whenever the stock market falls.
Yeah. There was good money to be made here in Australia if you had American currency at that point, or if you're clever enough to move on that. But that has long since gone, and we're back to like 70 or 80 cents a dollar, I think. Yeah. So, unfortunate, but anyway, look.
Sorry, I had to ask.
No, please.
Seems like you are pretty broke.
Yeah. Thank you. You're the second person today that's been worried about my finances. That's fantastic. Well,
not your finances. Your country's finances.
Yes, look, I think
we got another Arcade Archives game.
Do. Thank God. Oh, it's a skiing one as well. Fantastic.
And we got once again, the Asian stacks of every energy game.
Yes, again and again. We have the house in Fata Morgana for Vita already, but also for PS4 coming in the next week or two. If you want to skip it, it is 39 minutes, according to somebody, with a guide that'll be available somewhere. And if you want to read it, I think it's about 30 hours. So as we said, we'll let you know. There's Sun. We talked about this last week, the EU stack. It's a little overpriced, but it is very short. As far as the game itself goes, I don't recommend it. It's not a good game or whatever for horror. And I thought they had fixed it, but there's still issues with that game. So I'm not going to give it any more time.
I think you actually copied and pasted the wrong description, because this is not an Atelier game.
No, I got it straight up. No. This one is not this epic. No. You're thinking of the Toki one, wasn't it? Toki? Oh yes, maybe that does not.
Yeah, this.
Game, does it? That bottom section.
No, I think I read.
I was gonna.
No, I think I read two different game descriptions at the same time.
Yes, I think so. I could edit that, but I think it's funnier if I leave it in. So I'm going to do that. That's fantastic. But there isn't actually a game coming this
right
week,
here
already. Yeah. That's interesting. And then the only other thing I can see is this Super Blast Tennis, which I mentioned last week. It had a couple of glitch trophies. The developer, congrats to them, they patched it almost straight away. So both stacks are fully attainable, and that is definitely in the spam category. If you want to play it on very easy, there's nothing there that would take you more than about 6 to 8 hours, I think, now that it's patched. And if you want to get some really good value out of it, you can play on hard, and hard gives you a good run in the matches. So I would recommend.
I got one. There's a Japanese visual novel here. It's called Deep Abyss. Just saying, it's 81.82%. Obviously, it's easy. It's a Japanese visual novel. They're all easy. Maybe some of them are grindier than others. Pure attrition. Still trash. Here we go.
Yeah, always easy. Just make sure there's a guide, or that you can read. Yeah, look, that's excellent. So as usual, there's 30 plats in there at least for you this week, and for the first time in the show's history, I think we actually have a guest who may get 30 plats in the next week. So that I'm telling the truth this time. That is fantastic. Well, we'll look at. We've set another goal for you, sir. We'll have to wait and see.
No, I'm not gonna set that goal.
Don't peer pressure. No peer pressure. Yeah, excellent. So look, I think I would really like to. No, I don't think I definitely would really like to thank DatOneSeagull for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did as well, sir.
Oh, it was great. I always wanted to be in the podcast.
Yes. Well, now you've done it. Yeah, that goal is met. Do you think you'll ever come back and join us again, or was this a one-time thing?
I want to be a regular.
Oh, you want to be a regular?
I've been asking you if I could be the I yield.
Oh, that's right. Well, you did definitely bring the awesome today. I noticed that. So let's see what we can do. Let's wave the magic wand and see what happens. Because every week something different is happening here, as you know, listeners. And with that in vain,
I can adapt.
Look, I'm all for adapting. That seems to be what I'm doing every week at the moment. So.
I'm not trying to pressure you.
No, and you can see I'm talking in circles. I'm very good at that. So before we close out the show, I'd also like to say that I'm very happy Push to Plat will be moving forward to principal sponsor a new content creator. Now, this episode won't come out till next week, so I'm going to ask the indulgence of DatOneSeagull not to mention this for the next few days, even though he'll hear this now, because we're not going to push it until next week. But we will be partnering with the Black Vulture, guide creator extraordinaire on YouTube. Now that brings us, I think, to probably.
Ooh, I like some of his videos.
Yeah, look, some of them I like too. So this. I think this will work. If you're not familiar with his videos, he does make a lot of videos for short 1 hour, sort of 1 or 2 hour games. He does talk
easy plans,
yeah, and he's fairly prolific.
He does commentary.
He does do commentary as well. And what I like about his videos are they
different than I bet.
Yeah, that's right. They move at a pace that you can usually follow as well. I know some video guides move very quickly, so it can be difficult to follow one-to-one, but
he explains it.
Yeah, he does. So look, I think we're in a really unique position now to have myself, whatever value I bring to the system, I'm not sure yet. Someone like The Mind is a City, a fabulous, wonderful actual text writer guide, and now we've managed to bring on a video content creator to, obviously not part of the show, but we're going to principal sponsor him and hopefully work together for the betterment of both of us and, of course, you, the listener. And with that in note, if you are coming across from his sort of stream or whatever, and you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. We are a weekly podcast that releases around midweek, sort of Tuesday or Wednesday every week. We follow a similar format to this. We're all about guests on this podcast and, not necessarily like uber famous people, just a mix of everyday gamers as well. So if that interests you, if you have any questions for us, please feel free to reach out. Before I get to the wrap up, would you like to self-promote at all, DatOneSeagull? Do you stream? Can we find you anywhere?
I have a Twitch, but I never use it. I did stream for like a month. I was getting a lot of views too. I stopped because I was lazy.
Yeah, I never started, so I understand. I understand that.
It's just purely because I was lazy. I couldn't. I mean, I'd rather just play the games, and it's not like I was ever gonna make real money off of it. Subscribe to the Black Vulture, guys.
Thank you very much. And who knows? We may have found a new regular or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. Who knows? So if you're trying to find us, the show's Twitter is at push2plat, the number 2 push2plat on Twitter. You can write us a question, comment, concern, whatever you want, and I will try and get back to you. The show is available on iTunes, podcast, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and also a whole lot of other ones that I didn't put us on. So I don't know how that's happening, but that is awesome. Power of the internet. Please remember.
Somebody did it.
Somebody, I don't know, maybe the internet did it. Please remember. Anything I don't understand, I just say the internet did. Just a reminder that if you do like us or you can tolerate us, please do give us a like, a subscribe, or just whatever, pass the word out. It all helps. It helps us find new guests, new members, new audience members, and everything else. But thank you so much for today, DatOneSeagull.
You're welcome. I hope you liked my company.
I did very much so, and best of luck on your trophy goals. And to the listeners, may it be 1, 10, 50, or 1,000 plats you're aiming for. Good luck, and remember, have fun. Catch you next week.
Bye.